On this week's show, Peloton is ending support for the original bike screen tablet, and Rebecca Kennedy is engaged to Andy Speer.
Plus, Susie Chan is writing a book. A new feature will allow song information during live classes, and much, much more.
Welcome to Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. Here are your hosts, Amanda Siegel and John Pruitt.
Welcome to episode 158 of Pelo Buddy TV, a show for the Peloton community by the Peloton community. I'm John Pruitt. I'm joined, as always, by my lovely co-host Amanda Siegel, and also Chris Lewis sitting in as well this week.
Yeah, keeping us in check there, Mr. Lewis. And I've liked having you on here. I think it's fun with giving your little tidbits.
Sorry, he's our fact checker.
Exactly.
Pelo Buddy fact checker.
Real live. Who needs AI, right?
Exactly. When you've got Chris Lewis. Well, guys, can you believe that this is the final episode of 2023?
Wow.
Pretty awesome. Hey, it's crazy. I don't know where this year has gone, but yeah, we wanted to bring you one last show on this Christmas Eve morning so that you guys have something to do while you're finishing wrapping presents or cooking or whatever else you do. I said I feel like the token Jew on the show where I'm relaxed. I got nothing to do. But enjoy what you guys do. I have to say, I've always been someone that has absolutely loved this time of year and the festive season, and but with no stress. So it's really, I have a win-win situation. I get to enjoy it all without the stress of worrying about Christmas presents under the tree and doing a tree. I mean, I look at some of these trees that you guys put together, and they're pretty awesome. It's amazing. It's amazing. So yeah, exciting week, I guess, for everybody as everybody goes on holiday. So we have lots to share with you, and there'll be lots for you to listen to over the next hour and a bit. So sit back, relax, and I guess let's move on.
Sit back, relax while you wrap presents.
If
you're waiting,
not
if you're one of
relaxing.
those that waits till the last minute.
Right, exactly. All right, folks. Well, I guess we are going to get started with the news. We always like to remind you how you can keep up to date with all of our content across all of our platforms. Every episode is released on our YouTube channel. Just hit the subscribe button in the bottom right-hand side of the video and hit the notify button to make sure that you never miss an episode.
And of course, if you want to listen to us, if you're on the go, you can always find us on every traditional podcast platform. Just search Pelo Buddy TV and be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And please leave us those 5-star reviews that we love to read on the show from time to time. We do really appreciate the feedback. It also helps boost our rating on all those different podcast platforms. So, we're more featured more prominently. And we also really appreciate the feedback on how we can enhance and improve the show. So please do keep those coming.
Yeah, as well as the fact that we like to give you the real life info on what's going on in the Peloton world, and the only place to get it is Pelo Buddies. So, so make sure that you definitely send in those reviews. We definitely like that. And of course, folks, we are on Instagram, Facebook, X. Just search for Pelo Buddy and follow us on those platforms for all of the latest news. And now, guys, I guess let's get on with the show.
First, let's do a rundown of the latest Pelo news.
All right. Well, first up, Peloton has quietly expanded their Now Playing feature to appear in live classes, which is the song, the artist and the song of the music currently playing. Normally, that was added. I'm not sure how long ago on demand classes, which was nice because you had that little pop-up box that would kind of go right in between your heart rate and your activity feed on the left-hand side of your screen. And I think on Tread and I think on the Row, it's from the top in the middle of the screen. But then you could heart it, and add it to your Spotify playlist. But now just this past week, it has started to pop up in live classes. A lot of members have reported seeing it on their bike, their tread, the row devices, as well as on the app. Peloton did confirm this is a new feature that began rolling out over the past week or so, so it may not be available on every live class. I noticed it's random. On Wednesdays, back-to-back live classes with Hannah Frankson on her first class, her 30-minute EDM, it wasn't on there. But then on the 15-minute R&B ride that took place 10 minutes after that, the live tracks were popping up. So I don't know what the rhyme or reason is to it, but it's still nice. It seems to be on most of the live classes that I've done, and I do a lot of live stuff.
Yeah, I think it's a great feature. I'm really excited that they've added that. I was always frustrated that you never knew, because sometimes I'd hear a song and I wouldn't be familiar, I wouldn't get it right away, and I would like to be able to know what it was.
Yeah, or it'd be some remix or some different random version of a song.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, what remix is that?
Is that
you still can use the heart feature, so even though it's live, you still can heart it to immediately add it to your playlist. So I know some people were wondering about whether you could still do that on the live ones, and you can. So it still integrates with the music list, which is now in your profile in the app. So they're trying to get that out more and more.
Nice.
Yeah, I like that they're doing that.
And a nice reminder on the Peloton app now, you can also search by music artist. Which is a nice feature. Before that was just on the tablet, on the hardware. So that was a really nice feature that they added to the app that a lot of folks, had wanted.
Yeah, awesome. All right. Well, Peloton has also just announced that from June 2024, they will actually end support for first generation screen tablets used on some of the older Peloton bikes. So after June 19th, 2024, these Generation 1 screens, also known as Quartz tablets, will no longer be able to access any Peloton classes. They will only have access to the Just Workout feature on their hardware. Members who own these tablets can expect to receive an email from Peloton regarding the change, and those impacted will be offered an opportunity to upgrade to the Bike Plus or upgrade their tablet at a discounted price up until June 19th of 2024. If you aren't sure what type of monitor you have, Generation 1 monitors were manufactured before September of 2016 and have an orange power button at the top. The reason for ending the support for these monitors is that technology of these tablets is now about 10 years old, and Peloton is really no longer able to provide a full user experience due to the system constraints and limitations. So Peloton have said that they will provide a $500 discount for members who are willing to upgrade to the Bike Plus, or a $50 discount off the new tablet replacement. So the discount for buying a new bike only applies to the new Bike Plus. So if you want to get the regular bike, it's not an offer. It's just to the Bike Plus. For members planning to use the discount for a Bike Plus, they must fill out a Google form and wait for customer service to contact them for the discounted order. Impacted members will then receive an email with a unique offer code for a discounted tablet and information about trading in for a Bike Plus at the discounted rate.
And one bad thing right now is that there's the holiday deals going on. So I think everyone can get $300 off the Bike Plus right now. You cannot stack the $500 on top of that. So it's $500 off the standard rate, not on top of the currently discounted rate.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Okay.
And I know people are like, there's a lot of questions out there about this. This is the same tablet that back in 2019, Peloton sent an email about and said, we're stopping new features for this. We're where
it couldn't take
basically
updates.
Yeah,
it couldn't take the current software.
People who have
updates,
this don't have lane break. They don't have Peloton Entertainment. So you would have gotten a notification about this back in 2019 when they started suggesting you to upgrade. So if you never got any of those, and if you have lane break and those new features, this does not apply to you. Like
Perfect.
These were only the people who had bikes made before 2016, and back then
and never upgraded.
Yeah, back then there were a lot less people who had them. So we're talking maybe 10,000 people.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a much bigger issue, and if and when they ever do this for the Generation 2 tablets that a lot more people have. Like, there's now millions of people who have those newer ones. Yeah. I've not heard anything about them saying they're doing that, but I'm just saying that the scale of people impacted is going to be much different if and when they do this on a newer version.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anyone who's still on an old school Gen 1 tablet. If you're still on that tablet, no shade, but it's time to upgrade. You probably have a very buggy experience.
Right,
if you still are using
and
that.
your cadence is completely off. I mean, your metrics are like completely off at this point.
Your high fives are probably all glitchy.
Right,
you're missing out on a much cleaner interface and smooth experience too. So I know there were some complaints.
Yeah.
And then people were also saying like, oh, I guess, if your car, after 7 years is obsolete, it's kind of the same analogy,
Yeah.
You don't just get a new car. You
right.
Yeah. Turn it in.
The big thing, like, just so people know, like, they did start in 2019 was when they started sunsetting it. At the time, you could still do classes for, what's it been, 4 or 5 years since then. You just weren't getting the new features, and now they're just completely pulling the plug 6 months from this announcement.
I mean, if they upgraded the whatever you call it, the Gen 2 for the original bike, I would be happy to upgrade because I would love to have a better tablet with better sound and a faster Ethernet card and some of the other stuff, like the nicer hardware that the Bike Plus screen has, with that front-facing speaker. So I would love to be able to upgrade my bike's tablet.
I imagine maybe if and when they do that, it might be available first before they start making people do the upgrades, so that people who want to get ahead of the game can go ahead and do it who just want to. And then over time, I imagine it'd be the same thing where they stop new features for a year or 2 or 3, and then after a couple years, then it's just not going to work anymore.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, shifting gears, on this past Tuesday, Rebecca Kennedy and Andy Speer both shared on social media, announced that they are now engaged to be married. Rebecca shared the news, and then basically Andy posted right after her on their Instagram account. But she said, starting another chapter of our lives together. And then Andy made his own post with the same caption and a different set of images of him, down on one knee and then hugging each other. It looked like it was from their trip in South Africa.
Cape Town. Yep, they were in Cape Town.
He'd been working on his lunges. He had good form there.
Nice. It was very nicely staged. I don't know if it was the exact moment captured or they recreated, but it was very sweet. Rebecca went on to comment on Andy's post that she can't wait to grow old and strong with you, babe. And several of Andy and Rebecca's, team Peloton instructors, of course, chimed in to offer their congratulations. Tunde wrote that, how I feel about the two of you. Wow, just wow. Cheers to love. And Andy and Rebecca, they announced the engagement was announced on December 19th, but obviously it was from a few days ago. They've since returned from vacation because Rebecca just had a live boot camp, I think, on Tuesday or Wednesday. From South Africa, and they were on safari and did looks like a whole week-long trip over there. Amanda's stomping ground.
I wanted to give you the story. Well, I wanted to give you the story because I know how much you just adore both of them.
You got engaged to Mark.
Yes, and in fact, we got engaged at the foot of Lion's Head as well. But I had been chatting to Rebecca, and she said to me they actually got engaged on day 2. So she said they really celebrated throughout the whole trip, but they really wanted to wait until they got back to announce it. They didn't, they didn't want it to impact their trip and have to be on social media and respond to posts and, all that kind of thing.
Because I noticed somebody commented on the Pelo Buddy post that, oh, this was obviously staged. It happened way, after the fact, because another instructor commented on their engagement, and then their comment was quickly deleted or removed because they didn't want to spoil the surprise.
No, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. But what was interesting, and I don't know if you folks remember, and I told Rebecca she didn't know this, but German instructor Marcel Meyer also proposed to his wife in Cape Town at the beginning of the year, and Rebecca didn't know that. So she was like, "Oh wow!" That she was really pleased to. And I actually sent her the proposal of Marcel and his fiance. So so they are joining the ranks. I mean, sometimes we forget about the English folks, but I guess we have a wedding date set for Leanne and Ben. It will be May of next year.
Before Leanne and Ben.
No, Leanne and Ben have set a wedding date. They haven't given us the date, but it is in May. They have committed to May. Okay. It's not public. Okay. She just picked her bridesmaids. I think it's bittersweet for them. So, this is going to be a big thing. But look, I mean, we've still who else still needs to get married? I guess we've got Leanne and Ben. We've got Andy and. We've got no, but that are engaged. There's Emma. Andy and Rebecca.
Emma, boyfriend. He just recently put a ring on it.
Maddie.
Yeah. Oh, and Maddie, of course. That's who I was thinking of. Yep, Maddie and Evan and Marcel and his fiance. So so we've got lots to look forward to in 2024 for sure.
So they both they went public that they were dating, Andy and Rebecca, back in October of 2021. But a lot of us had our suspicions before then because they were both very quiet on the weekend on social media, and they seemed to be off the schedule at the same time. So I know a lot of us were very happy when they finally went out and were public about it.
Right. Well, I had a laugh though, because we did talk about this in last week's episode and about how, there was debate as to who said what, but I guess, okay, we'll give it to you because I guess Chris Giles has it on camera that you were the one that said, but I said something to Rebecca. I said, Prue and I had bets on this. She goes, I hope you won. I'm like, no, of course he's going to take the credit for it.
I said, I hope Andy packed a ring on the trip, but Chris Giles said he cut that part out of the show.
He did. He did cut it out. He said, well, we're not exactly. But anyway, so you could have said you heard it here first on Pelo Buddy, but at least it was in our outtakes. It was in our outtakes. Okay. All right. Well, moving on, it would not be a Pelo Buddy episode if we weren't sharing who's next to write a book. And this week, it's the absolutely incredible Susie Chan, who has written a book titled Trails and Tribulations, the running adventures of Susie Chan. It's set to be released in August of 2024, so the 6th of August 2024. The book, which is 256 pages long, is already available for pre-order on Amazon. So if you want to know that you're going to be one of the first to receive it, you can certainly head over to Amazon and put your pre-order in. Susie, as we all know, is known for her achievements as an endurance runner, including completing the Badwater 135, which was that mile race back in July that we spoke about a lot because it was just so incredible. It is one of the most demanding and extreme races in the world. And with this accomplishment, she became the first European woman to complete the 3 major events of the Badwater Cup. So definitely the book's title suggests it will include her adventures in the Badwater race, which I think would be really great to have that understanding of what motivated her to do it. We all know how she got into running. Yeah. It was, later on in life in her 40s. So I think an interesting story, certainly for a lot of us that have taken to the tread and taken to running later on in life. It's just a really nice way of being able to hear her journey and what she's done. And with that being said, let's not forget.
Real quick, they have since published a table of contents so we can get a slightly better idea of what she's going to be talking
I didn't see
about.
that.
So there are now chapters about all of her different Marathon Disables adventures. There's chapters about her 12-hour treadmill world record. There's just a general, why do you run an average life going into some of her life? And then they go into some of the other random events that she's done over the years. So it seems like it's going to cover quite a number of her running adventures and a little bit of her life as well. So it's going to be a mix of running, her life.
Awesome. You see, John, I think Chris holds back that information so that he has an opportunity to say something here, because I didn't see that contents thing. Do you think that's what's going on here?
I always know when he's chomping at the bit, he's getting ready to chime in when his screen sort of flashes, like he's taking himself off mute.
I love that though. I was like, oh, I missed that.
I wish there was a hand emoticon, like raise your hand.
Right. Well, as far as our authors go, we can't forget Russ Rayburn, whose book, Turning Inward, The Practice of Introversion for a Calm, Joyful, Authentic Life, will be launched in the new year. So Peloton members have an opportunity to support Russ and attend a special event at PSNY on January the 10th at 5 p.m. It is going to be moderated by the beautiful Chelsea Jackson Roberts. Members can purchase tickets at the One Peloton Events page, and the event does include a copy of Russ's book. It will also be a Q&A session with Ross and Chelsea, and a special guest appearance by Dennis Morton, as well as they will be serving their, light refreshments and stuff that they do at these events. The event is due to start at 5 p.m. and should be over around 7. Of course, there'll be an opportunity to grab a pic with Ross at the end of the event. The price tag for the event is $50. So if you are anxious to get to meet Russ and get to hear more about his book, as well as get a photo opportunity, then head over to the either Pelo Buddy, where we have the story, or certainly the events page on onepeloton.com.
And nothing has been announced yet, but I expect we might see another event or two pop up around that date. So if you can't make this one, keep an eye out, and there might be another event or two, because all the instructors have seemed to have at least 1 or 2 little book events that pop up around their release date. So I'd expect we'd probably see that as well.
I actually meant to reach out to him before the show and ask him if he was planning on going on the road, and I must be honest, I forgot to do it, but it was something that I had thought about, and then of course the story, and I just didn't get a chance to do it. But yeah, I'm sure that once we have that information, we'll share it with you here on, at Pelo Buddy, as to if he's going to take it to the road, which I'm sure, as you say, Chris, I can't imagine him not to, and get his word out there.
At least.
But I'm looking forward to it. I have to be honest with you. I did tease him when he first said about it. I said, oh gosh, Ross, if you're going to do an audiobook, I hope it doesn't put me to sleep, because my brain is wired to hear your voice and fall asleep.
Yeah, like Pavlov's dogs.
He did have exactly. Yeah. He did have a chuckle at that. He goes, "Oh God, I hope not, Amanda." But
Dude, I can't keep up with all these books. I still have AT's book that I'm working through, and I'm listening to. Listening to Matthew Perry's book, which is really good. But it's kind of sad, listening to it now that he's gone.
Of course.
But
Man.
To that point, real quick, now that there are so many instructors, we do have a new page on the Pelo Buddy website that lists all of the Peloton instructors' books. So we have a full list of all the ones in the past and all the ones that are coming out. So if you have missed one or are wondering, you can go to our site, and we now have one link where you can see all of them.
Yeah, we got a page there.
And I didn't want to put you. I didn't want to put you on the spot, Chris, but did you add Justin Thompson Rule in there? Because she did have a book.
It was on the list.
Okay.
Since the minute I published it, the picture I posted on social media, you can only fit so many covers on one picture.
Exactly.
So Jocelyn's is on the list, and it's been on there since that list was published.
Okay, good. Because it's a really good book, actually. Yep. I did read it back when she first jumped on the platform and spoke about it, and it is also about her journey and how she got to where she got
and
to.
Not as many people know about that one because it was published before she joined Peloton.
Correct.
But so it came out a few years ago. But if you haven't heard of that one, it is on our list of instructor books on the website.
I didn't take a look. Awesome.
All right.
All right.
So an update is available regarding the recent issues that were affecting the bike and tread devices. So in case you missed it, we shared recently that following a software update, bike owners had reported issues with resistance being very sensitive on their hardware, and tread owners also reported issues with their tablets not turning off and just the screen not coming back on after a few seconds. More recent update to that, Peloton had pushed out the initial software update on December 19th, but said it won't be fully deployed to everyone until December 21st. So this is already, this episode's after the 21st now. So hopefully that has taken care of it. But the exact message was update reports of some version 1 bike metrics being sensitive and overshooting. So if you just turn the knob just a little bit, like if you just want to increase the resistance by 1, it would go up by 4 or 5, and vice versa if you were to decrease it. So hopefully now that it's fully deployed, hopefully it's been fully resolved at this point, but we'll obviously know in the coming days since then. Peloton created a formal incident report within their status channel for both issues and gave potential timelines for the fixes. It says Peloton specifically mentions version 1 bikes. However, we do know this was affecting both the original bike as well as the Bike Plus. So both people there, both devices. For the tread users, they're going to have to wait a little longer, unfortunately, possibly until January for a solution, according to Peloton. They're still targeting a release, or they're still updating the software patch to fix that issue. Until they're able to push that software update, they said that they recommend that members use the switch on the bottom of their tread to actually turn it off. If the screen won't stay turned off, when you press it to go to put it to sleep. Tread users have also reported some workarounds, though, by pressing and holding the stop button on their tread for 5 to 10 seconds, while others report the screen will turn off automatically on its own eventually 30 minutes to an hour later. And it's also worth noting that bike owners have reported a similar issue of their touchscreens not turning off as well. I had that happen to me randomly, and I just fully powered down my bike and then powered it back up, and it seemed to go away after that. But for now, Peloton has only acknowledged that screen issue with the treads, not with the bike. But yeah, based on the social media comments recently, these issues appear to be pretty far-reaching and affecting a lot of members. So it's not a very isolated, case-by-case basis
Incident.
Yeah. And then some entertainment updates. Peloton has removed the beta tag on all their currently available entertainment apps as of December 13th on all the hardware devices where you can, stream media content. That means that all members should now see all of those options on devices that support them. So now like Netflix, HBO MAX, Disney Plus, Hulu should all now be permanently on there, because normally in beta, sometimes they drop off, they add different options, they disappear. But just over a month ago, Peloton took that NBA League Pass out of beta. So that's now on there as well. But the other ones remained in beta until last week. So we have a little right up there. I haven't really done any of the entertainment options. I don't know about you guys. I'm always just doing a class.
I was doing a little on Amazon. One thing I know is that, in particular on the Netflix beta, people were having issues where they would have to log in every time, or they might start losing metrics after 10 minutes. I haven't heard if those have been resolved or not now that it's out of beta. Hopefully they have. But that was one thing I know people were hoping would be resolved once the beta ended.
Okay. Yeah, I must say Mark actually does use it when we're home and he's on the tread. He's not, he likes to be able to watch his shows and kind of just run. So he's been using it. He likes it.
Yeah, he likes to watch his stories.
His stories.
His soaps.
Yeah.
And then
Real Housewives.
Yeah, right. And then one update regarding the app for iOS and Android. The weekly activity goals is also, that feature on the app is out of beta now. It went live last Wednesday. So now if you're on the Android Peloton app or the iOS app, on your main overview screen, you'll have this area sort of right below where it names, it lists your followers and your following just above your activity calendar. It'll say set a weekly activity goal. You press set goal, and then you have these different options. You can select your active days, your time, your workouts. So that is now fully functioning. There shouldn't be any bugs with it now as it's fully rolled out. I have not really set that up or really dove into it much. I don't know about you guys.
Originally when they did it, it was a little more, during the beta, it was a little more prominent on the main home screen. They've now streamlined it a little bit so that when you're on the home screen, they show it, once you've set one up, they show it right under your blue dots, where it also shows some of your stats for the week. So that's where they show kind of your tracking once you've set it up. But then you can always go into your profile, and on that overview page, like you were saying, you can see it a little more prominent there. So it seems like they made a couple small layout tweaks based on feedback from the beta, but they sent out an in-app push notification on Wednesday, and it's now fully available for everyone on both iOS and Android. So we covered a little bit more in a previous
couple
week
weeks
when
ago.
that beta was out there, but we just wanted to let everyone know it was available to everyone if you weren't able to try it before.
Yeah, if you don't have it set up on that home screen, it'll just be listed right next to your active days, and there'll be a little plus symbol that says set a goal, so you can easily jump into it from there as well.
Great. All right. Well, this next one, actually, I was really pleased about. So Peloton updated its meditation class filter options to separate sleep from relaxation. So previously, both sleep and relaxation meditations were grouped under one central filter, requiring members to kind of sort through both types of content to find specific classes. Now we're able to filter specifically for sleep meditation or relaxation meditations. The sleep filter solely contains those sleep meditations, which also include those midnight meditations designed for those who wake up in the middle of the night and want to meditate to fall back to sleep. The relaxation filter includes calming meditations and deep relaxation content. This update does follow that recent change where Peloton split the warm-up and cool-down filters into two distinct categories as well. The separation of these filters is expected to make it easier for members to find that specific type of meditation that they are looking for. So I really liked that ad. It was something that really did bother me when I tried to go in, especially when you're kind of tired and you want to get to bed and you're kind of having to see which ones. I like the fact that you can say not taken or taken. But yeah, as I just hit 1,850 meditations, I certainly use that a lot. So for me, it's it was really welcome. So I appreciated that.
I'm at 132.
You got to start meditating, baby. It's changed my life. No, I am serious, John. It literally changed my life. It became so much a part of my routine with Peloton. I love it. I absolutely love it. And I love all the different types. I mean, I will really go in this seasonal. I mean, the one that Aditi had just done a holiday one, which kind of was her wrap up for the end of the year, which I was able to get to celebrate. But there's a lot. I'm telling you, you won't. Are you choking on the fact that the thought of meditating really just doesn't appeal to you? Do it. I'm telling you, do it.
I gotta do them more often than just on the rest days when I'm not actually working out, which just doesn't happen very often.
I'm telling you.
So yeah, I hear you.
I gotta be honest. I wake up. I'm curious. Does Jackie meditate? Does she seem such a spiritual person?
Yeah, she's probably got a lot more than me, if I were to guess. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. You know, couples that meditate together stay together.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I don't know about that, but okay.
I'm not asking you, Chris.
Yeah. Oh, she doesn't meditate very much. She's got 14.
Oh,
she has 14.
Really?
I take that back.
I'm so surprised. I am surprised.
I think she's really just into strength. That's her big focus right now. Anyway, Speaking of
strength.
segue, Peloton's latest strength training program is here, and it's called Power and Performance Glutes and Leg Strength. It's a 4-week program, and it's led by none other than Adrian Williams. 4-week long. It's designed to have 3 days of workouts for the first and last week, and 2 days of workouts for the second and third. So Peloton first teased that this program was on the way just recently, last week, and went on to create a social media holiday themed promo about the program as well. And then it focuses on building up power and strength in your lower body. So the first class of the program, it's 20-minute benchmark class. So you can see what point you're starting from. The final workout on the last day of the program will be a 10-minute benchmark class. So you can see how far you've come. And it's available to all members. It's not an exclusive program that they, were doing on the guide initially. It was only rolling out on the guide, for a while, and then they put it out on all other devices. So anyone can access it. And it's also designed to work with the movement tracker, though, with the rep counting feature of the Peloton guide if you have the guide and work out with it. So that's just an added bonus if you do have that device and work out on it. For the first few hours, the rep, I guess it wasn't enabled, the rep tracking on the guide.
Yeah, there was a small bug. So people who immediately took it, they were doing it on their guide, and Adrian talked about the rep tracking,
but it wasn't working.
But later that afternoon, they had enabled it so that people who were taking it that first evening, it was back and working.
Gotcha.
So it was just a glitch that first couple hours.
And this is the second strength program that Adrian has led. He also has a 1-week split strength training program as well. And we do currently have the full list of classes available in the little write-up on pelobuddy.com. They're only being released a week at a time. So until January 8th, 2024, you'll not be able to finish the program. But after that point, you'll be able to, they're meant to be taken in order. So I guess if you're doing it on the hardware, it's basically locked. Is that right, Chris? Until you complete. But we have
you can't move to.
We have the jailbreak links on Pelo Buddy if you want to take them out of order and not follow the plan or do your own thing.
Or, for example, if you're not interested in the strength, Adrian actually has a 10-minute foam rolling class hiding in this program. So if you just want to do some stretching and foam rolling with Adrian, you won't be able to get to this class if you're not doing the program, but you can go find the link and take it on the write-up on our website.
Yes, we have the workarounds.
Yeah. All right. Well, talking about strength, I do have to give Rebecca another shout out. I actually started because this one is an advanced. Adrian's one, if I'm not mistaken, is an advanced program. Correct, Chris?
Sorry,
Adrian. I said Adrian's what? Can you pay attention, please? We're very busy here talking about strength.
Pull your head
Adrian's is an advanced program, if I'm not mistaken.
The split level?
No, this one that he just released.
I don't know if it has a tag on it.
Doesn't it have a tag? Okay. Because I was just saying that I just started Rebecca's split 5-day split program, and I can barely walk, but yes, I love these. I'm really starting to get into these strength programs.
So Adrian should be considered advanced, in my opinion.
I was going to say only the split level have either intermediate, beginner, advanced. These other programs as a whole don't have the labels on them. So that's why I was just confused about your question. It wasn't I wasn't paying attention.
All right. Well, I must be honest. I kind of steer away, as John just said. I steer away from Adrian's just because I do automatically just imagine him to have an advanced program out there when he does strength. So yeah. But anyway, all right, moving on. One of the final artist series for 2023 is Kelly Clarkson, which launched this past week, December the 21st on Thursday. It features 11 classes across 6 modalities, including 3 German classes and 1 class in Spanish. Many of the classes were live, but there were also some pre-recorded on-demand drops and premieres. The complete class list includes a 20-minute Kelly Clarkson upper body strength with Marcel Maurer in German, a full body stretch with Maddie Giacomo, which I did on Thursday, and it is amazing. Music's great.
Oh, what
songs 30-minute.
What songs did you play, Amanda?
Oh, shut up. A 30-minute Kelly Clarkson yoga flow with Mariana. And this is the one that's actually in Spanish. So Mariana does this one in Spanish. That one dropped on demand. There was a run with Jeffrey McKeechin in German, a ride with Benny Adami in German. There was also a glutes and leg strength with Callie, a 45-minute yoga flow with Ross. So we haven't seen a 45-minute class in some time. So that was really nice. And then a ride with Cody. Cody had his 30-minute ride, a run with Robin Arzon, and Ash had a row. There was also a cool down with the girl, Jen Sherman, a 10-minute cool down.
10-minute premiere.
So there were a lot of classes, and it kind of is the wind down of the artist series for 2023. Of course, those members who take any of the classes will receive an artist series badge, but there is no specific badge for Kelly Clarkson. Yeah. This past week, we also did get a holiday yoga flow with Aditi, and it was also classified as an artist series. It was music that was set to pianist Chloe Flower. It was just one class, and it dropped on Thursday morning, the 21st at 7:30 a.m. So that then followed her meditation her holiday meditation that she had. So yeah. So other than Maddie's stretch, I like Kelly Clarkson's music, so I'm looking forward to doing some of those classes.
Nice.
They'll be fun.
Well, we should have some more content coming while Peloton is off for that 7 or 8 days where there's no live classes. Several instructors have teased on social media that their top 50 countdown classes will be coming soon. So I'm sure in the coming days, we'll see that pop up on the schedule. And obviously Chris will be reporting it on it. And he seems to want to chime in right now.
Last year, I think they announced it on the 24th. So no guarantee they're going to announce it on the same day again, but probably around plus or minus a few days of that. So it could be any day now that they'll announce that.
And these are classes where they play like the most popular songs on the platform for the year.
I believe what they've been doing, these are the ones that have been most hearted by members, is the way they did it last year. Okay. So we'll have to see if that's the same way they rank the top 50 again.
Because a lot of them are fun because a lot of them they'll shout out the instructor who like played this song the most, which can be kind of fun because, they'll have you kind of guess and sometimes it's it's easy. Sometimes it's obvious, like Britney Spears. It's obvious who plays that the most. But
we know who doesn't. We know who doesn't.
Yeah, some content to look forward to while the studio is closed from the 23rd to January 2nd, Chris.
First.
To the first.
Yep. So, So I was just going to say that as a reminder, it is closed from the 23rd to the 1st. But with that being said, we also know that they are keeping us very busy and will be kicking off the new year in true Peloton style with both New Year's Eve and New Year's Day classes. So New Year's Eve will be kicked off with a ride from Ben Aldis, a brand new At the Club New Year's Eve walk with John, and a brand new Jess King experience, which actually will have members in the class who were invited. It was taped obviously prior to New Year's Eve, but members were actually invited to that Jess King experience class for the New Year's Eve launch. There's also going to be a low impact ride with Cliff Dwenger, as well as a 20-minute upper body workout. On New Year's Day, Tobias Heinz will have a New Year's Day run in German, and Charlotte Wiedenbach, a New Year's Day ride too. Rebecca Kennedy has a New Year's Day recovery walk, and Sam Yo has a brand new New Year's Day recovery ride. So those will all be premiered on the 31st and the 1st for folks to be able to take. I will give a shout out to myself in that I know that some of the, some of the UK admins of the different groups actually put together a tread challenge, a Christmas Eve tread challenge. So if anybody's interested in joining that, you can hop over to it's the Susie Striders, Club Husky, Justin Thompson Rule, Hannah's, Jermaine, and there was one more, and Jeffrey. There'll be classes, a 30-minute class, kind of the ones that the instructors picked to do a stack if folks want to do that on Christmas Eve.
Nice.
So thought I'd throw that out. Yeah.
Well, on New Year's Eve, on the December 31st, we have a German language artist series that is dropping. They're all, coming out as, premiere classes. But it is from the German musician and producer of electronic music, Paul Kalkbrenner. He is someone I've never heard of, but he breaks down his tracks into elements. This is from Wikipedia. Breaks down his tracks into elements that are reassembled on stage. So he's considered a live act as opposed to a DJ. So he's not just plugging in an iPod and pressing play. But
mixing music.
Marcel Maurer, Nico, Eric have these ones. So Marcel has a 30-minute walk plus run. Nico Serrane has a 30-minute power flow yoga. And Eric Yeager has a 30-minute ride. So they're on the schedule. They're all premiering at different times, depending on where you are on December 31st.
Nice. And with everybody home and around for the holidays, it might be a nice time to gather around and try out shadowboxing. For the first time ever, Peloton are offering boxing classes suitable for the entire family. The classes dropped this past Thursday, and you can join either Selena Semola or Jermaine Johnson for some family fun.
Nice. And with the new year fast approaching, Peloton has once again renewed their annual challenge for 2024 called the Annual 2024. Members can now view and opt in on the annual challenge under the Upcoming tab on the challenges page on your hardware or on the app. The description of the challenge, it reads, a year-long challenge that helps you build habits for success. You'll gain the discipline and consistency to create and maintain an active lifestyle. Take any class on the bike, tread, or Peloton app to have your minutes. They don't mention the row there.
Guess they need to update. I mean, the row is included, so I think it's a copy and paste,
from last year.
Oversight.
Let's put in the time together for 2024. So it's about to enter its 5th year. The annual challenge tracks members' total active minutes across all modalities on the Peloton platform. So for now, the 2024 challenge has the same tiers and badge opportunities that were available the previous year. So members, you can earn badges for minute totals between 1,000 and 20,000, with a total of 13 tiers available, 1,000 through 10,000, plus 15,000, 18,000, and 20,000. Peloton had increased the number of badges available for the annual challenge since its inception. So during the first year in 2020, the badges only went up to 5,000 minutes, and then later expanded to 10,000 minutes as members got crazier and crazier on the platform in August. And then when the 2021 annual challenge was launched, it included badges for up to 15,000 minutes. In 2022, there were 2 new tiers for 18,000 and 20,000 minutes. And then the 2023 tiers have remained steadfast. And then we have to give another shameless plug, obviously, for PeloBuddy.com and Chris Lewis, for those trying to determine how many minutes you need to spend with Peloton to reach a certain tier of the challenge. We have this nice annual calculator for each year that does the math for you. We have this.
Yeah, nobody wants to do math.
Proprietary.
So let us do the math for you.
Exactly.
We will have a new calculator available for 2024 by the beginning of the year for anyone interested.
Yeah, I mean, I took a look at some folks. There are a couple people that I follow who have over 100,000 minutes. I just can't imagine. I mean, I thought I worked out a lot, and clearly I don't work out enough. I mean, I barely made. Okay, granted, this year was a different year for me, but because obviously I had 7 months of not being able to, work out as effectively. But I mean, I barely hit 20,000, and I was thrilled that that I got over 20,000.
It's a sliding scale. I mean, I follow some people. I mean, they work out like 4 hours a day. Which,
well, 100,000 minutes is on average just over 4.5 hours a day.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That can't be good of you. Good for you.
That's a lot of sleep meditation.
You think a lot of it?
No, these people are on the platform.
Hours
they're
of sleep.
Running. They're biking at 5 a.m. till noon.
I mean, kudos and all the more power to you guys. I'm not shaming you at all. I'm just saying it's crazy. I just think it's wild. All right. Well, we'll see what 2024 brings for sure.
Different strokes.
Yeah. Well, a little bit of business news going to shifting gears completely. Peloton has announced the appointment of Chris Bruzzo to its board of directors effective this past week, December the 19th. Chris is a leader with over 2 decades of experience in global consumer brands. He brings extensive knowledge in marketing, brand management, digital strategy, communications, retail, and interactive entertainment. He is replacing Jonathan Mildenhall, who is stepping down to focus on his expanding professional responsibilities. Previously, Chris served as the Executive Vice President and Chief Experience Officer of Electronic Arts and has held roles at Starbucks, Amazon, and Regence Blue Shield. He also serves on the boards of MoneyGram International and Boot Barn Holdings and is a member of the Latino Corporate Directors Association. He did express his excitement about joining Peloton's board, highlighting his admiration for what Peloton has done for many people, including himself, and its potential for the future. He aims to serve the Peloton community well. So welcome to Chris on joining the board.
Okay. Well, Purge update. Thank you so much, Amanda, for assigning this one to me again.
You're welcome.
For beating me to the list this week.
I love it.
So on the 15th of December, Peloton purged the majority of classes that were filmed from October 7th to the 15th of 2020. So in all, it was about 200 classes being removed from the on-demand library. Now, this one was a little bit more. So the past couple of weeks, we've had about 4 days worth of classes that were purged. This was about 9 days worth of classes, so more than double than what was done in previous weeks. When this recent purge happened, the original Hamilton ride and run were purged, but over the last 24 hours, both have been restored and are available again on there as well. And also there was a 60-minute, or the only 60-minute ride that Camila had taught, I believe, which is a 60-minute reggaeton ride from February 10th of 2023. That had been purged for several weeks, perhaps months, but was just restored this week on her birthday. So that is back up there. And I know a lot of people in the Mila Mafia were pretty bummed to see that only 60-minute class off the platform. And that was, that was pretty recent. It was just this year. So.
Yeah. Well, happy birthday to Camila. She, as you just said, celebrated her birthday on this past Monday, the 18th. So we always like to wish our instructors a happy birthday from Pelo Buddy. And we extend our best wishes to Camila. So happy birthday. All right, John, I think we are going to go straight into Instructor in the News. And I will kick it off with a group of the instructors who came together to create a holiday-themed song titled The 12 Days of fitness. They were told by Peloton that they were doing it for an ad, but it actually turned out to be a reel that Peloton were making for us members. It is a playful take on the traditional the 12 days of Christmas. And they shared the video of the song on Instagram. The video features several instructors. We saw Bex Gentry, Tobias Hines, Jermaine Johnson, Ash Pryor, Anna Greenberg, Katie Wong, Bradley Rose, and Justin Thompson Rule. And they were singing the special edition song. The lyrics included fitness-related twists, such as 12 stretching poses, 11 riders riding, 10 runners running, and so on, culminating in a Santa's workshop with Cody. And I have to say, it really was a cute little rendition of the very popular 12 Days of Christmas song. They did a great job with that.
Yes, and Benny Adami, he posted a funny little take. I guess he posted it to his reels to the tune of Santa Claus is Coming to Town. But it was basically him calling out people in the cool down portion of the ride, you know, when you're supposed to be, you know, taking off the resistance and slowing down your cadence. To the lyrics, he altered a bit. He says, he sees you when you're cheating. He knows if you're off pace. He knows if you've been good or bad. So please don't sprint in the cool down. don't be one of those
It was
people.
really
And
cute.
I've done that, but I, in my defense, I do that if I see some jabroni trying to sprint past me, you know, right at the end, they're trying to jump over me in the leaderboard. Then I speed up, but I only do that on the tread or the bike if I see that. So, got to hold my spot.
All right, we'll accept that.
Do you have anything to say, Chris? Okay, be quiet.
No.
Be quiet.
All right. Allie Love was a guest. She has been a very, very busy bee. She was a guest in Josh Gad and Andrew Rannell's Gutenberg on Broadway, and she was absolutely fabulous. Gutenberg is a new musical about the unintentionally hilarious new musical. Chris, have you seen it? Had you gone to see Gutenberg?
Yeah, I actually got to see it. It is hilarious. I had no expectations going in, but
tell us about it, because I didn't know enough information. So I'm curious. It's just, do they bring in guests each performance?
It's 90% Josh and Andrew. There are a couple supporting characters, but I don't want to give anything away, but every time they do it, there's a guest cameo, and it's different celebrities. For example, when I went to see it, we actually had Steve Martin and Martin Short, our two producers.
Yes, so I remember. Okay, that was it.
There are different people that can get to come in and do cameos, and this one happened to be Allie Love. And if you've seen it, she actually did a couple. You wouldn't notice if you haven't seen it, but she did a couple callbacks to what they had done earlier in the show. So she did that pretty well for her guest appearance there.
So it's like a scripted off-Broadway show?
It's on Broadway. Yeah. It's scripted too, but there are, from what I've seen from people who've heard it, there's a couple of times where they do go off script a little bit, and it's just
hysterical.
I mean, they're the original two guys from the Book of Mormon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so they were the two who originated the roles in Book of Mormon, and they're now back together doing this.
All right, that's going to have to be a must when I'm in New York next. That sounds fun.
Yeah, I think they're only there till the beginning of January, the end of January. So it's only there for a little bit longer unless they extend the run.
So this has nothing to do with Steve Gutenberg, the TV and film actor.
Nope, it's all about the Gutenberg printing press, set back in whatever year that was back in the day. So it's a historical not a reenactment. It's a parody
rendition.
Yeah, I don't even want to say it's the history of. It's just
interpretation.
It's having a very
loose,
non-based on a true story at all interpretation.
Got it.
Thanks, Chris. Well, Adrian, he was on ABC recently for their Motivation Monday segment. He was talking about his 4 focuses for sustainable wellness. It was like a 3-minute sort of quickie segment that they do. But he was talking about his 4 focuses for sustainable wellness. So mental health, physical health, nutrition, sleep, and recovery. And he did stress during the whole 3 minutes, like sleep is the most important element that he always focus on, to get at least 8 hours of sleep. So yeah, if you're not getting 8 hours, you got to work on that.
Yeah, I got to work on that. Even with my meditations and Ross, I just cannot get there. I got to work on that. All right. Ben Aldous continues to be busy promoting his book, Raise the Bar. He was recently interviewed on the Shift podcast, sharing his journey of cancer, his career shifts, and becoming the best version of himself.
And Emma, I've never seen this or knew this was a thing, but there's something called Amazon Live, where people, I guess, influencers, celebrities will go on and promote products that are obviously available on Amazon, lifestyle products. What's up, Chris?
It's like QVC on Amazon.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like the Home Shopping Network. So Emma was on Amazon Live. It was a 58-minute long segment where she was sharing her pics of her 20 different favorite cat, because she's a cat person. She has 2 cats. So it was all about talking about these 20 different products. So unless you're a cat person, it's a snoozer. You don't need to watch it because it's just her promoting cat products. But yeah, she was on that recently.
All right, good. And I guess, we'll go straight into class picks of the week. Why don't you kick it off, John?
Okay. So first up, I got to refresh my screen here because my picks aren't on here.
All right.
Scrolling down. First up, Ben Aldis's 20-minute Run DMC full body strength from December 14th. Armajar 3 gave us this. She said great structure and, of course, great music. Anna Greenberg's, also from Armajar 3. Anna's 10-minute alternative Pilates from December 14th. She said just another good, solid playlist. And then Robin Arzon's 30-minute pop ride from December 15th. Starwicky and Gracie Cannoli gave us this one. They said great class talking about boundary protection and motivation.
All right. And I have Camila's 30-minute hip hop ride from the 16th. 10 a.m. Mexicali Girl recommended this one and said fun music and challenging intervals. Jeffrey McEachin's 60-minute 90s run. I included myself in that one. Both myself and Tracy C recommended this one. It was an absolutely incredible run. It was in English. It was 60 minutes. He had an amazing playlist with a diva selection section, and there was such energy in PSL. Tracy was in the class herself, and she said that it just flew by. There were lots of milestones and a sing-along to Oasis. Jeffrey reminded us he will always have our back. So I was really happy to see a good 60-minute class on the platform for him. Then Kristen Ferguson's 45-minute gospel walk from the 17th, 9 a.m. This one came to us from J88K. This class was just what I needed this week.
Nice. And switching over to the bike, Emma Lovell's 30-minute Disney holiday ride from December 17th. We got that from Show Me Sunshine. They said it really got me in my feels and loved the Disney theming with the holiday class. And then Christine D'Ericol's 45-minute New Wave ride, which I believe was a dark wave playlist that she sometimes likes to curate, from December 17th. Got this from Nick of Time. He says her playlists are always good in these and some great long climbs too. And then Adrian Williams, I think this is the foam rolling class that we were talking about from Adrian's program, Chris. His 10-minute foam rolling lower body from December 18th. Kevin Spins Run 2 submitted it. He said this class is hiding in his new program, but it's a great one.
Yeah, that's awesome. And Kelly Gullickson had her 30-minute holiday soundtrack Strength Club. It was from the 18th. And Coralie Bran, B. Simon Says, and B. Low 428 all recommended this one. They said this one was elf-themed and loved the dance moves. And then Hannah Frankson's 30-minute intervals and arms ride. Also, this one was from the 19th. Dippin' Dot 22 recommended this one. They said unofficial office party ride. And then Leanne Hainsby's 30-minute groove ride from the 19th. Just Dance Lisa recommended this one. Great choreographing from Leanne and a great playlist too.
And next up, Dennis's 30-minute Power Zone endurance ride from the 19th. We got that from York Doug 15. They said, pleasure to see Dennis with a 60-minute PZ class, and the playlist was unbelievable. And then Tunde's 30-minute intervals and arms from the December 20th. Got that from Nicole Colt. She says, just a good solid workout with Tunde. Would you expect any less? And then Bradley Rose's 20-minute holiday ride from December 20th from Armor Jar 3. She said, such a fun, non-traditional holiday playlist. It's pop punk. He ended up having to re-record this one. The live version didn't make it on demand, so he redid it.
I heard that. It didn't
Was
make
it just
it.
Technical issues?
Yeah, I think there was some technical
issues, and everyone loved the playlist so much because it was pop punk, which is not one of the, most
a regular
use a lot of the same songs, so everyone was pretty sad. So he took the time to re-record that so that people could still enjoy that ride.
Yeah, that's really cool of him. That's awesome. All right, then moving on to the sweetest man out there, Matty Majacomo's, his 15-minute Broadway walk from the 20th. This one came to us from Zone 2 I Love You. They said such a great playlist for this one, and you can tell Matty really loves his Broadway. This one followed his last and final walk and talk of the year, also from the 20th. It is my pick of the week. Maddie kind of went through all the, the tea from the year, stuff that he had spoken about throughout the year as to what happened, in the world, all the crazy stories that he talks about in his walk and talk. The playlist was amazing, and it was a really great way for him to kind of just wrap up 2023 being, one of his final classes. So that one was great. And then Alex Kowarski had a 20-minute holiday row, also from the 20th.
I did that one live.
This one, did you? Yeah. Well, this one came to us from Spinbug, and they said great music and great stories, as always. With Alex, so I guess he's a great storyteller.
He tells a lot of good family stories. Yeah, and stories
awesome.
About boarding school and. Yeah, it's fun.
And then Kendall Toole, her 30-minute Paramount holiday ride from the 20th. It was at 9 p.m. This one came to us from Pedal to Paris, our friend Jamie, Kristen Dawn, and Mac Mars. And they all said so good. Possibly my favorite Kendall ride I've ever taken from home. They showed movie clips during the ride. Production value was next level. Oh my goodness. So that's definitely one to take.
Like
and then
ride, kind of.
Yeah.
I think it was, and it was just themed with in partnership with Paramount
Pictures
movies.
Yeah.
So it was all there, and that got them the ability to use the clips and stuff. So I think it was, like you were saying, it was the movie buff just with some clips thrown in there as she was doing it.
It's been a long time since she did an actual movie buff labeled ride.
Yep.
Plus. Yeah. And then I have to throw this in there. I neglected to send it to Chris, but I would be remiss if I didn't shout Christine de Urkel out. She had her 30-minute holiday ride from the 18th. And I don't ride often with Christine. A friend was doing the ride and asked me if I wanted to jump on, and there ended up being, tons of people on the ride. And it was really beautiful. I have to say she played unusual, holiday music, some renditions. She said music she had never played before. She tried to pick music she had never played before. She played a song in Hebrew called Hallelujah by Jocelyn Pook, which was just absolutely beautiful. Her stories that she told were beautiful. She spoke about her father and how he had to bail her out of jail,
story,
which I had not heard.
Yeah, she told that story. This was a more condensed version, but she told that story within the past year, I think, but a much longer sort of drawn out version of it. Yeah.
Yeah, which I just thought was amazing. There was just an underlying tone of community that she brought in there. I think, she wanted to be inclusive of everybody. I loved the fact that she brought, the Jewish community into it. And she even recited a prayer in Hebrew. And she did brilliantly. For somebody that's not Jewish, she recited it sometimes better. I think better than I do sometimes. And it was just really lovely. So I didn't throw that one in for Chris, but I have to say it had needed to be mentioned.
She recited the Hebrew prayer because I think the story was she was dating a Jewish boy.
Yes, at his bar mitzvah or something.
What they have to say in the ceremony.
No. It was a prayer on and lighting the candles, but it was the candles for a holiday, for like a Jewish holiday, and she couldn't remember the last part. But she did amazing, and it was done brilliantly. I threw it up on my Instagram because I just thought it was just such a great.
Was that in the pre-show?
Lovely.
Because I was on that class.
No, it was in the class. It was in the class. Okay. It was in the class. So I wanted to go ahead and throw that in there as the final one. All right. Well, I guess. We did it. We closed out 2023, guys. Wow. We've said, I think we have. I think we've said it all, and we got it in. No, we never say too much. We got it in under an hour and a half. I think we did an awesome job. So everybody, make sure you all have a safe and happy holiday. Let's hope that 2024 is a good year for everybody. And I know that I am very grateful for the support and love that we get here on Pelo Buddy for the show. I am so grateful to Chris, and I'm going to embarrass him, but for giving me the opportunity to do this. I absolutely love being able to do this, and doing it with Prue has been so much fun. Once I toned him down and told him not to be nasty and be nice to me. So just a little sentimental, but this is fun. I think we have fun giving you the stories. We have, a good time sharing this with Prue and my personality. I think Chris is now an awesome add-in because the two of us do like to dominate. So it's like who's gonna get what. So Chris can tone us down a little bit. But to both of you, I really appreciate your friendship and your support, and it's been fun. And I look forward to what 2024 brings for us. So thank you guys, and happy holidays.
Yeah, well, thank you, Amanda. Thank you, John, and Chris and Rich in the background, who people don't see as much. Thanks to everyone on the team here for helping us making this happen every week, and to everyone listening out there. Thanks for always tuning in, and hope everyone has a happy holidays and a happy New Year. Yes,
and thank you. Here, I appreciate the sentiments, Amanda, and I can't believe it's been 2+ years now that we've been doing this and going strong. But it's always fun to meet up with you here every week and banter and cover, the weekly stories. So I look forward to 2024 and continuing that.
Awesome. All right, you folks. For me here down in very cold, rainy, and wet Florida, bye for now, everybody, and happy holidays.
And from me here in Atlanta, we'll see you next year.
Yes, and from me here in Michigan, Merry Christmas, or as they like to say in the UK, Happy Christmas, and a Happy New Year, and we will see you in 2024. Bye for now.
Thank you for watching Pelo Buddy TV, your source for everything Peloton, by the community, for the community. Work out with us using the Pelo Buddy TV leaderboard tag, and find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Pelo Buddy. Don't forget that we have a podcast available so that you can listen to us while on the move. Just search for Pelo Buddy TV on any major platform and hit the subscribe button so you never miss an episode.